All right, before I start this video, I just want to let you know I am not a financial advisor. None of this is a recommendation, and this is here to educate. In no way am I meaning to talk down on anybody, and I really do hope that this helps educate some people. And as far as Netflix goes, since we purchased it, it's about 41%. So let's get into it. So, have you ever woken up one day and your favorite stock is down 5–10%? Then you go to check the news to see why, and then it's something along the lines of this, and you hear about a downgrade, and you're like, what? What does that even mean? Or maybe it's actually the reverse, and then the stock, your favorite stock, is up, and then you go and check the news and see something about an upgrade. Well, yeah, that's an analyst, and I think it's about time that we talk about it. And following Netflix's earnings today, I thought I would just give you a little lesson on it so you guys could see how it works. Now, I'll tell you, it is a world that a lot of people really do not know about, even getting the reports and what goes beyond the headline. I'm telling you, it is deep. There is even some analysts out there to even access their material. You got to log your name. They got to know who gets it. I can't even show you most of it simply because I am not allowed to, given how it works with how protected this material is. But Chad, retail, all my stock traders out there, I want to give you guys a little bit of information and show you what I'm allowed to show you and show you a little bit of how it works. So we got a couple of things we need to start with. And like I'm telling you, Netflix had its earnings, but I think you could get a very, very good idea of how analysts work. And really what I want to tell you is, don't always follow the crowd. There is a lot of things you could learn out there on your own. We provide a lot of free information there, but even then, you got to make your own decisions and really go with what is wise, and do not be buying things or selling things just because you saw one headline. So hopefully this video will help show you why, but let's start with this right here. This is actually all 59 analysts that cover Netflix, and I want to show you this one-year return right here, which you're seeing. This is if you, over the last 12 months, followed every one of their buy, sell, hold at whatever they had there, right? Well, out of 59 people, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them had a positive return. The rest were either break even or negative, and you'll even notice there's a couple of analysts that don't even give their price targets. So I'm going to dive into this one a little bit here, but like I'm saying, even the top analyst, Laura Martin here, she did not give a price target, but what do these investment reports look like? Like I said, there's only a couple that I found that I was able to show you, and I could get you little clips, but the thing about it is when you read the headline, you're only seeing upgrade or downgrade. A lot of unsophisticated traders, they're just going to go based off of that, but believe it or not, they use a lot of crazy models, and it just shows, you know, everybody in the market, whether you are an analyst or someone just new, sometimes you're going to be really right, sometimes you're going to be really wrong, and that's what I'm saying. You got to trust yourself a little bit, but what you're seeing here is that these guys go really, really deep into all of it. They give their adjusted predictions, what they think on the year. They're giving you reasons why it could fall. This one's like 5 things you got to worry about, and this was in the midst of everything dropping, but it's actually quite interesting because if you go and see some of their history, it's quite ironic how it all actually plays out. So what I'm really trying to tell you is that it looks something like this. Even if they are a good analyst or not, a lot of times it is really just following the trend. So this little triangle up here, these are the previous price targets this analyst had on Netflix. And as you can see, from April all the way to October 2022, they went from 430 all the way to 625. Then they say, no, back to 508. Actually, no, 350. No, take it down again. We going to 348. No, we're going to 148. And you'll notice really how did it all play out. Yeah, it eventually got there at one point, maybe a little higher, but then the same analysts who are saying, yeah, this is going to go for 600, a couple months later, they're already back down to 300, then 100, and then even as it's going up, you'll notice they're still a little bit behind here. Now, this isn't the only thing that they include. Like I said, they go through a lot of it. They give models based on projections, how much revenue, the headwinds. They give reasons why the stock will go up and then why it'll go down. And then eventually they end up with their price target. But this is another one. And believe it or not, these are actually some of the top-rated analysts that have been following Netflix. And like I'm telling you, you get the real same sort of strategy here where they move with the stock, they move down with the stock. And the real question you got to ask yourself, is it really leading or not? Or is this kind of post data more or less? And like I'm saying, a lot of people don't really know about this, and it is a pretty shadowy world, and you could even dive deeper and see how this analyst returns. So one of the analysts covering Netflix, they have even a buy at 350. Like I said, they did pretty good as an analyst, but you go see they cover all these communication companies, telecom, all of that, and you'll see this is over the last year. Some of their average returns was 14% or the peer average 12%. Now, how do you know if that's good or not? You could compare it to the industry, but you'll see some of them, they say buy on everything, or some of them have had really, really crazy wins and crazy losses depending on how you want to look at it. So I thought this was very interesting, and I wanted to share it with a lot of you guys because I don't know how many people know this. So honestly, drop a thumbs up on the video if you learned something new. Maybe hit us with a subscription there too. But let's go back to everything. Like I'm saying, here are your top analysts, and what would have happened if you followed them. This is like following it to the T, where you would have ended up. And I guess I already showed you the positive ones. So maybe let's go to the negative ones, and you can see for the most part, there is a lot of firms that if you were following their direct recommendations, you are losing, I guess, out of the top 30 or the bottom 30, 22% all the way down to 72% or even 77%. And some of these are very well sell-side coverage where they're like, nah, we ain't really about it. We just want to short everything. So, Chad, take this how you please, and I hope you get the moral of the story. Sometimes these headlines are important, and really what I like to do, I like to take information from everywhere. I listen to people, what they think is good, what they think is bad, but ultimately I go with my own decision, and partly why I do that is because I am budgeting it out. That's why you never want to go all in on just one thing, and that's why you also got to manage it, and hopefully, too, you don't get too disappointed when something is wrong or too excited when something is right. Why? Because these analysts are good. Even with what I'm showing, I'm not trying to say they all suck and oh my God, blah, 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 blah. No, it's just like this is the nature of Wall Street, and this is how it's worked for a very, very long time. A lot of people go with the crowd. Even the analysts have to follow alongside of it, but hey, they may be down one year. They may come back with a force the next year, and that's usually how it is. People put in a lot of information, and that's the key, and that's the advantage that you have nowadays is that a lot of people are sharing info, and there is so much info out there, but you got to make your own decision. Don't go with all this stuff that makes you feel good and, it strokes your bias. And then also, too, don't get so mad when something is against what you're saying. And hopefully this little analyst discussion can show you why. There's going to be different periods. There's a time to reap. There's a time to plant or reap and sow, plant and sow. Yeah, I don't know the difference. But anyways, that's what I'm trying to say here. So hopefully this makes you smarter. Let me know if you like this video so I can make another one for you. And if you have any questions or, again, another follow-up, we could really dive deep into this. But, Chad, I'll see you tomorrow morning for the stream, and I hope you're ready for it. Peace out.